So I'm going to do a little from the book, and then but first we'll do a little new stuff. And so I don't go too long, not these limiting messages. This is a short called How Best to Hold You. Justine was afraid. She woke up on the sofa. Her heart pounded, and she heard footsteps of a nurse. The nurse retreated. It was only Wednesday. Sun pushed through the window. She closed her eyes. Imagined more sun. Animated Kool-Aid pitcher from commercials. They crashed into the room through thick glass, through flimsy, sheer curtains. They joined her on the blue couch, the couch made of canvas. Splashed cold red liquid, an ice cube tumbled, slid across the floor, began to melt. Her heart pounded. She tried to breathe. She tried to pound slowly. She spent so much time with her eyes closed. She spent so little time sleeping. She had been a suspicious child. She had seen signs where there were none. Forget about cracks. She avoided ladders, left her wet umbrella anywhere but the house. She loved fairy tales and was pleased when the bad guy got what he had coming. When her mother first let her walk to school alone, Justine worried for weeks. Every adult approaching caused her to hold her breath, focus on the sidewalk, cross her arms, walk more quickly. Now she wondered if her mother could still talk, what she would have to say about this dream. In the dream, she and her mother were in bed together, a hotel, side by side, on their backs, pinky fingers touching in Manhattan. It was unclear what they were doing in a hotel in Manhattan. It had been so long since they had traveled. In the dream, she felt a rumbling. She heard rumbling. Justine thought maybe there was an earthquake, but they weren't in California. They lived in Southern California when she was 10 years old, in Orange County. They lived in a small blue house while her mother's sister died of breast cancer. By the end, her aunt could no longer speak. There were 2 earthquakes that year. The first one happened in school. She didn't feel it, the classmates told her. Earthquake, they said. The second one happened in bed. Justine and her mother. Justine, afraid of something, ran into her mother's room. The blue house shook. Earthquake, her mother said. In the dream, she and her mother felt rumbling that couldn't be earthquake. She looked out the windows. She had forgotten about the windows. It was the windows that made her know they were doomed. Through those windows, she saw movement of a hotel across the street. This actually was the movement of their building. They were tipping over. They were shifting slowly, then more quickly and inevitably, while the rest of the world remained as it should. She felt herself sliding toward the end of the bed. She grabbed her mother's hand. Her mother reached for her hand at the same time. Their 2 small hands leaped into one another. These 2 small hands that were laying side by side and maybe accidentally touching were now twisted, and Justine said, "I love you. I love you. I love you." Her mother, nothing. On the rough blue couch, she hopes that maybe this dream means she and her mother are moving closer. She hopes the dream means they will find a new place to exist. She stands, walks over to look at her mother. Her mother is in white sheets. She wants to tell her mother the dream. She leans over, starts to whisper the dream softly in the pale, see-through ear of the sleeping mother, so that the mother can find a way to let her know what it means. So we'll do a few poems from the book, and then we'll move forward. If we could be friends on Facebook, you would know how much I love you. This one is called Space. There is no space too small. I can hide anywhere. I can want you everywhere. There is no space where I am alone enough to be a lightning rod, defiant. The spaces of my dry sheets hold me. I can curl my knees to my chest and not bump you. I can push the pillows that smelled like you off of the bed. I clean and make spaces. I place books onto shelves, slide piles of papers under my bed. I fold things and stack them in my closet. I put on my shorts and do yoga next to a girl. She wears soccer shorts. She breathes quietly. My legs bead and hold me. And this one is somewhat jokingly titled Hair of the Dog. This morning, on my way to the train, I pulled your hair from my favorite sweater. Last time I wore this sweater, we met for oysters, drank too much vodka. I want to see your hair between the pages of books I nap with. Want to tongue your hair around my mouth. You have another yoga poem called A New Yoga. I am going to teach you a new yoga. In my new yoga, you will learn to place your body around my body. In my new yoga, your heart will beat against my spine. Bring your shorts to class. My new yoga is a hot yoga. No suggested donation. And then for the last one, will be the title poem, If We Could Be Friends on Facebook, You Would Know How Much I Love You. You are missed. You are missed, and I am missing you. I realized this morning that I have always lived in the wrong city. I realized this morning that if I sold my bed on Craigslist and bought a used car and started driving this afternoon, I would have the beginning of something. Even if I did those things, I still wouldn't know how to begin to find you. The only new thing I have found to say to you is this. If we could be friends on Facebook, you would know how much I love you.
Yeah.
And next we have Jason File.